You want to buy your first house? In this video, we're going to talk about the who, the what, the when, the where, and the why of first-time home buying. Hi, I'm Ginger Walker, the team lead of Give Back team of Coldwell Banker Elite, and welcome to this episode of Give, Work, Play, where we talk about everything giving and living in the Northern Virginia area. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the first time you buy a house. What do you need to do? Who do you need to talk to? Well, one of the people you're gonna need to talk to is a lender. And in this video, I'm joined by Jessy from USA Mortgage. Hi, Jessy.
Hi, Ginger.
Let's start with who. Who do you need in the process of buying your first home? Well, besides your realtor, you need the
lender. We're a team, and you need to think of us as exactly that. We are all here to be kind of like your unofficial welcoming committee to your new home.
And you might also need a home inspector. You're also going to need to get homeowner's insurance. So you're going to need an insurance person. Is there anyone else that you can think of that they might need?
You do get to select the title company or the settlement agent that you would like to use in your contract.
That's absolutely right. So who's going to close the loan?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bunch of people that are actually all going to come together and be your team to get you across the finish line of buying your first home. All right, so that's the who. So who, what, what's the what?
Oh man, we can really break this down, make it pretty easy because it feels like a huge process, right? As long as you're following some key steps, it's going to be a lot easier for you to navigate. The first thing you want to do, find out what you qualify for. So let's have a conversation. As your lender, my job is to help you understand not just the big picture of what the highest purchase price home you can buy is, but what's your monthly budget? What are your habits, your hobbies? What do we need to plan for? Is it college, a vacation? All of that matters.
So one of the other what's is money. You need cash to buy a house. And I know that that's one of the things that a lot of people think, oh my gosh, I can't afford to buy a house, or I don't have enough cash in hand. And that's the critical piece, to start the dialogue with the lender first and make sure you do have some money in savings to be able to pay for some of the inspections or appraisals along the process. All right, so let's move on to the when. When do I need the cash?
Well, it depends which cash we're talking about. So obviously, if you're using a mortgage or financing, you're going to have a lot of that cash requirement covered through your loan. But there's a couple of other things that may come into play. First thing is, what's it called?
EMD?
Yes.
EMD, which is your earnest money deposit, which is money that goes into an escrow account, and it's really basically good faith money, and it's your money. You're just going to take it out of your account before you own the house. So as long as you don't exit the contract in a place that you're not eligible to do so, that money is actually at risk if you kind of do that runaway bride where you're not allowed to leave the contract but you take off. That money could then potentially go to the seller, but that's money that's actually yours. It goes into an escrow account and it gets applied to the end of the transaction for money that you're bringing to the table.
That's right. So there's a little bit of money typically required at the beginning. As Ginger mentioned, that EMD, maybe some appraisals, other inspections up front. If there's a down payment required, the bulk of your money, that cash, it's really not going to be required until closing day.
And that depends on what type of loan you are and how much money you're putting down, as well as if your closing costs are being paid by you or by the seller or somewhere in between. So that's, again, going back to the lender who can help guide you through that financial piece. So let's talk about a few more whens. When do I start shopping?
Well, once you're pre-approved, you get to go shopping with fun Auntie G over here. So that shopping happens after you've done your hard work with me, the lender.
And then when you go shopping, how long does it take for me to close or get my keys?
So once fun Auntie G has provided me with your ratified sales contract, which basically means that you've agreed to the terms for purchase of a home, we generally, I'd say average is about 30 days, sometimes more, sometimes less, depends on the loan program. But by that point, you should be ready to make your next move.
And can I just ask a random question?
Go for it.
When should I buy the furniture for my new house?
Like maybe even the day after closing, once you have keys in your hand, deeds recorded, we've all and celebrated at the closing table, I would definitely wait. We do not want to be opening new lines of credit, even inquiring about new lines of credit. In general, I say don't let anyone else pull your credit during the course of your loan process.
So now let's talk about the where. So we're standing in Northern Virginia right now, and I am licensed only in the state of Virginia, but I might have someone looking in the DMV, so Washington, D.C., Maryland, or Virginia. So the where is kind of important, where I can help you as the realtor, because I might need to get some help from another agent that's a friend of mine in another state if you're looking outside of where I'm licensed. So we got you for the where. And why? Well, I mean, I think that's kind of easy, don't you?
I want to buy a house.
I want to buy a house. And why would you want to buy a house?
It is one of the best tools for wealth building, stability, even short-term stability. When you can fix that mortgage payment and you're no longer subject to the landlord's rent increases or the unknowns associated with where you're going to live next year, it really does help to cultivate, I don't know, arguably a better life.
I love it. We hope this video provided you a good framework of the who, the what, the when, the where, and the why of your first-time home buying purchase. And we got 2 tips for you to take away. So Jessy, I'll let you give them number 1.
I'm going to go with information again. Knowledge is power. Have a plan. When you have a process as big as buying a piece of the earth with a house on it, it's like fractional ownership of the planet. You should probably have a pretty good plan around that.
I love that. And I would say make sure you're realistic in your expectations. Write the list of the absolute must-haves and the things that you really want but you're willing to be flexible on. Because as you're going through that home buying process, you're going to see that maybe location is going to be the most important thing, or maybe the size of the house or the yard in the back. Whatever that is, make sure you come up with very specific expectations of what you need absolutely in the house and what you like to have. And hopefully you're going to get the best of both worlds when you find that property. If you have any questions, make sure to comment below because either Jessy or I are happy to answer them for you. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video and the channel. And if you have any other questions with regards to lending, we actually have a couple of other videos with Jessy on this channel, so make sure to catch them as well. I'm Ginger Walker, the team lead of Give Back team of Coldwell Banker Elite.
I'm Jessy Prince with the Prince team at USA Mortgage.
And thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it helpful.